Right, so today's video is Elta MD review. You guys have really asked a lot about this brand, and I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get around to it. Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan, and this channel is dedicated to skincare for skin of colour. As you know, I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. Let's first of all start off with what I look for in a great sunscreen for skin of colour. So the number one thing I look for is it NAF safe. So no denatured alcohol, fragrance, or essential oils for skin of colour. It's just a really quick thing that any of us can do, especially when you're a novice and you're learning to become an inky hacker. It's just easy to look for. Does it have denatured alcohol? So not fatty alcohols, but denatured alcohol, fragrance, or essential oils. The second thing I look for, are there any UV unstable ingredients or any acids in the product? I don't want you to be wearing AHAs during the day. I don't want you to be wearing ascorbic acid during the day, or any form of vitamin A. So I make sure that those ingredients aren't in the sunscreen. I also look for the application method. If it's an aerosol, I'm a lot more hesitant, especially for children, because it can be inhaled. So I would avoid that. I'm not a fan. And then if it's a powder, I don't mind you wearing it on top of your makeup, but I don't want you to wear that as your primary sunscreen because it's not as effective as a cream. Next thing I look for is, does it have a white cast on skin of color? When I, for example, was manufacturing Inzincable, the number one thing for me was to make sure it didn't have a white cast. Because to have a mineral sunscreen without a white cast is very difficult to do, because zinc oxide, it's a very white particle. So basically to get it invisible on skin of color is extremely difficult, and the formulation can take a couple of years. So the most important thing for me is there any white cast for skin of color? That really does tend to happen more with mineral sunscreens. Chemical sunscreens are very easy to get a non-white cast. I look to see if the ingredients are non-comedogenic, because the other thing I look for is people with oily acne prone skin actually really struggle to find a great mineral sunscreen that's non-comedogenic. So I look to make sure that there's non-comedogenic ingredients in there. The other thing I look for with a sunscreen is when it says mineral, is it 100% mineral, or have they added chemical filters in order to boost the SPF? I don't mind them doing that, but then it should be disclosed. It shouldn't say a mineral sunscreen but also has all these other chemical filters in it. It should say it's a mixed sunscreen. I found that a lot of companies do that, and I find that's a bit tricky and a bit underhanded. So I look for that for you. And then the next thing is, I do tend to prefer zinc oxide sunscreens over chemical sunscreens, as they're anti-inflammatory, they are broad spectrum. A lot of chemicals are too, of course, but it doesn't enter the bloodstream, and the vast majority of chemical sunscreens do. They're new age ones that are better, but with zinc oxide, it's just very easy. It's one active that's broad spectrum, it's anti-inflammatory. If you can get it invisible, then it's great for skin of color, and that's just always going to be my preference. Right, so let's see how well Elta MD does according to my checklist on sunscreens. Okay, starting off with the first product, which is the Elta MD UV Clear Broad Spectrum SPF46. So this has 9% zinc oxide, 7.5% octinoxate. So the thing I love about this product is that it's fragrance free. It's important to know that octinoxate is a UVB filter. So this means that this sunscreen, I would like to know what PA rating it is. So how much UVA protection you're getting from this sunscreen, because you're only getting your UVA protection from zinc oxide. And although it's true that it's not completely dependent on percentage is important, along with particle size and formulation. Because for example, if you're going to use 1% zinc oxide, you're not going to get very much UVA protection. So percentage is important, and 9% is quite low. There are some health concerns when it comes to octinoxate. So there are a couple of studies to show endocrine disruption. I've actually listed 3 for you on the screen. However, these studies are mainly done in rats, which is obviously different to humans, and it has been deemed safe in cosmetics. But ideally, we really do need long-term studies, to be honest, which haven't been done yet. Many brands do use octinoxate, from L'Oreal to Aveeno to Dove to Revlon. So it is basically a chemical filter found in most chemical sunscreens. It's very popular. And the FDA restricts octinoxate up to 7.5%, and Elta MD are using the absolute maximum percentage octinoxate that they can. In my opinion, I would personally avoid this particular product just because it has no PA rating. It doesn't tell you how much UVA protection you're getting. I don't think it's going to be very high at 9% zinc oxide, and I'm not a fan of octinoxate, so I just wouldn't advise this particular product. The next product is Elta MD Physical Broad Spectrum SPF41. So I like that it's fragrance free. That means there's no chemical filters in it. It's got 9% zinc oxide, 7% titanium. Plus I like that it's got antioxidants in it too, which is great to wear during the day. But the two things I'm not a fan of is, number one, it's SPF41. I'm always going to opt for SPF50 for you. And number two, it says non-comedogenic, but the second ingredient here is isopropyl palmitate, which is 4 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. And the third ingredient is Oxide stearate, which is 5 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale and can also be irritating. Now, although how comedogenic a product isn't solely reliant on the ingredients in it, it's about how it's formulated. If you are trying to create a non-comedogenic ingredient, you would never pick actives that are comedogenic. It doesn't make any sense. You would try and make a gel-based something. You try and make something that's lightweight if that's your primary concern. So again, I'm not a massive fan of this product, and I would say avoid. Moving on to the next product, which is Elta MD Foaming Cleanser. Okay, so this product uses enzymes to reduce inflammation and gentle enough to use morning and night. Now, the thing here is that the enzyme bromelain can actually lead to quite a lot of irritation. So, for example, when you're eating pineapples and your tongue feels sore and the roof of your mouth feels sore, it's because of bromelain. So bromelain is basically breaking down the proteins that is now making your tongue feel sore. Now imagine putting that on the face and then going out into the sun. For me, that just doesn't make any sense. Plus, it's got isopropyl palmitate in it, 4 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale, and it's got octyl stearate, which is 5 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. Plus, it contains fragrance, and I know it's a wash-off product, and so it's not as much of an issue, but I'm just never going to recommend a product with fragrance in it for my skin of color family. It's just never going to happen. So in my opinion, I would avoid this product. And the other thing that I noticed was people are drawn to a product that has the word doctor in it or has MD in it. Now, I want you to stop doing that, including my products. Okay, my products have Dr. Vanita Rattan on it. I don't want you to buy anything that I make because it has the word doctor in it. I want you to buy anyone's product because you're an inky hacker and you understand the ingredients list and you understand whether or not a product is going to work for you or whether it's it's got nothing in there, no actives in there. I went into this project investigation assuming I was going to love everything and really shocked that I was struggling to find something that I liked, and I just thought, if I'm under that misconception and I'm falling for that myself, millions of people around the world are falling for the same thing, and that just needs to stop. So yeah, this is the purpose of this whole channel, really, is just to make sure that you guys are educated and empowered when it comes to actives. The good news is I did find one product that I love, and I would use myself and I would recommend, and that is the Elta MD PM Facial Moisturizer. So number one, it's NAF safe, so no fragrance, no essential oils, no denatured alcohol. Plus it's got niacinamide peptides and antioxidants, and they managed to get the packaging right too. So they put it into an airless pump. For me, this product is a 10 out of 10 and I would buy it. So I'm so glad that I actually managed to find something that I love, because I hate doing videos where I don't like anything. It's just negative, and I've actually, I'm sure you've been aware that I've stepped away from trying to put any negative energy out there, and I only talk about products that I love from a brand. If I haven't mentioned a product in a brand, it's probably because I don't like it. But yeah, I just as a brand owner myself, I know that there's no brand owner out there who goes out to create something that's not great. They're doing their best. Everyone's doing their best, because you wouldn't put money behind something that you don't feel passionately about. So then I don't want to come along and be a naysayer and destroy somebody's dream and hard work by making negative videos. Ideally, I just want to cherry pick the products that I love and tell you all about it, so that I'm not hurting anybody's you know, feelings and hard work, because honestly I've been on the receiving end and it can feel really painful and it can feel like you're being attacked, and I never want any brand to feel that way, especially from me. Please don't forget to download your free guide. The link is down below. Don't forget, I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video, so please do hit that notification button. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok. I need your support. We've just hit 233,000 followers on TikTok, which is so amazing. Like, I didn't think, I don't know, someone my age and, you know, doing what I do was going to do well on TikTok, but it does. So that's really fun. So don't forget to follow me on that, and on Instagrams at Skincare by Dr. V and the Hyperpigmentation Clinic. Thank you so much for your support.